Hi, thanks for listening to this episode of the Ding Stinger. This is going to be episode 4 of our podcast. We're going to be covering a subject of deductibles today. Deductibles are a term used in insurance claims lingo as it pertains to what you owe on your repairs. It's interesting because as we're coming up with topics for ideas for these short podcasts, it's interesting when I give the task to 4 of my employees and I say, hey, you guys just give me some ideas for some shows on what people would be interested in listening to. And on the top of every one of their lists is the word deductible. It's hilarious sometimes how we have customers come in and the things that we are told from customers that have these large hail jobs or they have these collision jobs, and they say, yeah, I've got all my insurance paperwork and the insurance company already took my deductible out, so we don't have to worry about that. And you have to say, well, that's not how it works. So what is the deductible? What does it mean? What do customers understand or think that they mean when they're talking about a deductible? Well, as you know, the simplest way that I have to explain a deductible is I tell a customer, go with just a simple, easy number. So I'll say, hey, if you had $1,000 worth of damage and you have a $100 deductible, that means the insurance company will give you $900 so that you have to pay the other $100 to the repair shop. You can say it as simply as that to some people and they still won't get it. So another way that I have come up with to share the information of the deductible with a customer is most people understand the medical field. Now, insurance covers most everybody's medical situation. So when you go into the doctor's office, they almost always say, get your insurance card. You have a copay of $50 today. That is a perfect way to explain to someone, let's not call it a deductible. This works for me almost every time of anyone, of any demographic, age, race, color, male, female. It always is easy to say, when you go to the doctor and you have to do a copay, that's what a deductible is. So I tell people, let's stop calling it a deductible right now. We're going to call this a copay. So your copay that you chose when you bought this insurance product, say, is $500. So you have a $3,800 job. That means they deducted $500 out of that, correct? Correct. So they're going to pay $3,300. You're going to pay $500. That's your copay. That's probably the best explanation that I have come up with, and my estimators in my office and my office people, we have all gone to that explanation. There's another thing that we started doing. We have a sign-in sheet or a check-in sheet that we use to go around a vehicle, and we mark any previous damage that we have. Along with that sheet, we have an authorization to repair form. Now, this is something that I've been thinking about doing, is putting it on our website so that we have a baseline kind of same documents that I have in my own office that I use. They lean more specifically towards insurance claim situations, but if you're doing insurance work, it's so important to document everything. No matter what you're doing, it's very important to document everything. Always document everything. But as far as a deductible goes, the authorization to repair for us gives us permission to drive the customer's car. It gives us permission to contact the insurance company, talk to the customer on their behalf, handle the claim. So it's a small power of attorney that they're basically giving you permission to handle this on their behalf. It's important to get that stuff signed, but the thing that we did at the top, the very tip top of that page, right underneath the heading, is it says deductible amount, and there's a blank line, and then it has initial and another blank line. So we can get their insurance paperwork at the time that they drop off, and we can say, hey, what is your deductible? Let's look through your paperwork. When you look through their paperwork, you pull up their deductible, you write that number in there so that the customer sees it when they're signing this authorization to repair, that they are going to be required to pay a certain amount, be it $250, be it $500, be it $1,000. Have them initial on that document that shows that they understand and they realize that they have a copay that they have to come up with. So I've been trying to get a document set up on the Dingstinger website. It may already be up there at this point when you go and look, but I would like it to be something easily downloadable or printable that, you know, anybody can pull that down off the site, and it's not going to be just specific to my business. It can help you too. You know, these type of things of people that are in business and have been in business a long time like myself, you know, those little things that help someone who is trying to, you know, grow, and they're trying to get better at what they do, and they're trying to do more legitimate business, it just makes sense. Make sure you have the documentation in place and have your customers educated as to what they can expect through the entire process, because it's your job. You're the professional, you're the expert that they chose to work on their car. And since you are that expert, it's your job to educate them as to how all of it works. The insurance companies really don't share a whole lot of information with people. They want to keep all of us in as much in the dark as possible about all of it, because it's easier for them to slip things past, or you know, if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. And that is something you always have to realize about the insurance company. They are not going to give you anything you don't ask for. So an interesting concept of this is that I had a business mentor a long time ago, and he was like, listen, man, when you sit down with an adjuster, you're standing across the car from a customer, there is literally a pile of money sitting right in between the both of you. There's an exact amount that's right there. It's the amount that is the fair value for the repair of the vehicle, okay? Now, blindfold both people that are standing on either side of this situation that are negotiating, and when they're blindfolded, they don't know how big of a pile of money is, or they don't know how much is exactly there. But if you don't take every dime of that, they aren't going to give it to you. If there's a certain amount that you can ask for that's higher than what you would have normally gotten because you asked the right pertinent questions, educate yourself. Become smarter in what you do. Know what you can charge for. It just makes common sense that you would dig into these things and find out what you can charge for. Don't give them a break on anything. You have overhead to pay. You have yourself to pay. You have to pay taxes. Right now, as I mentioned in back in episode 3 about the Matrix, we're basically working on hail at 40% below market value right now because of inflation. So go back and listen to the Matrix if you want to hear about that. But ask for everything. Don't let the insurance companies dictate to you what they're going to pay. Charge what you charge. It's your business, and it's your job to make sure you get paid. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dingstinger podcast. This was episode 4 on the topic of deductibles. Have an awesome day. Go out there and just kill it.